Okay, John, this is what we're going to get at the end of the presentation. We're going to have a tower leg model that's put together using as a bolted structure, and you have all this reference geometry in here to help us guide this. But what I like to say at the end of this presentation is you can go ahead and create various configurations of this model relatively easily and without error. And you might be able to use Driveworks Xpress as a way to do this. That would be my introduction. What I'm trying not to do is do a sales pitch, but I want to say that Driveworks Xpress might be able to automate this, just like what I'm trying to do is showing you how to automate putting together a tower structure, some sort of structure that's bolted together using weldment tools. So right now we have a configuration, our configuration manager in here. We have 4 different leg configurations. We have front left, front right, back left, and back right, and they all just vary by height right now, but we can create sub-configurations or derived configurations inside of this in order to show how we can create different configurations in here, varying other things besides this plane down here. So these planes or these configurations are driven by our top plane -2. If we were to click on top plane -2 and hover our mouse over that dimension, you can see that dimension 1 at top plane -2 would be something we'd probably like to change. But we already have that changed for these 4 legs. But perhaps we could do something different up here. If we click on this sketch up here, which drives a 3D sketch, and or just hover our mouse over that, you can see that that's dimension 1 at top sketch. And that would be something we can change. You want to make sure that this dimension up here is a little bit smaller than this dimension down here. So if we were to click on that and rotate that a little bit, now you can get that dimension up. If you take a cursor and rest that over it, it's dimension 1 at top sketch -1. This has got to be bigger than that. I think this one's 12, and the one below it is 13. So just keep the model from blowing up. I think this needs to be smaller. That needs to be larger. Now, if we were to click down here too and rotate that a little bit, now you can see the plane offsets. So that's dimension 1 on top plane -1. That would be something we could change. So those 3 dimensions in here would give us 3 derived configurations of our part. And I believe Driveworks Xpress can help us define that. So it should be pretty simple. But what I like to do at the end of my presentation is say something similar to the fact that, now I've shown you how to put this model together, a bolted structure, using weldment tools as a way to automate your tower designs. And now you could use Driveworks Xpress as a way to create various configurations within the 4 configurations that we have. So these would be derived configurations. And then I'd show the Driveworks Xpress dialog box and the questions we're going to be asking and answering, and then fill in the blanks and create some configurations real quick, or already have those created. I want to keep it short and sweet. Can't have it salesy, otherwise it looks campy, and might get punished for that if I turn it into a sales presentation. But I think it's something that we could probably put at the very end of this, spend less than a minute on it, and again, our viewers, the people who are participating in this, the attendees, I think we'll get a lot out of it if we were to present it that way. So those are my thoughts. Those are the dimensions I think we can change, and one more dimension. If you could do this is a little bit more complicated, but a lot of these elements in here are driven by these structural members in here, driven by these simple dimensions in here. So if I were to click on that pink line and just to highlight it, here's a dimension in here we could do. So dimension 12 on front horizontal, the front horizontal sketch. If we click on that and change that, for instance, if we were to make that really silly, like maybe 5 inches, it's going to change the whole model. The whole model is going to drop down a little bit. Again, that's kind of funny too. If you can work that in there and actually put in that change, that would be kind of fun too. So you'll notice that drops down, but all the other elements that are related to it, like this bolted intersection down here, and this one over here, and that one there, and that one here, all those move down too. And again, we can come down here to this one too. I think this one actually moves more, but you have to click in that pink line, find that dimension, and that's going to be dimension, looks like dimension 1, front horizontal. We can make that 5.2 and see what that does. I think that brings down these connection plates in here too. But the premise here with the Driveworks Xpress is to be able to show a quick way to get these configurations in here, to organize them, and be able to show this as kind of a capstone at the very end of our model. So at the very end of the presentation of this model. So let me know if you could do that. I'm going to go ahead and send this model to you and let you play with that. Give me some feedback and let me know what I can do. Just show me how to do this. I think that would be a little bit more fun, a little bit more instructive. Because if I know how to do this, then I'm going to be able to present it a little bit quicker and faster to the people in here. And I don't want to do a video at the end. That probably wouldn't work out too well. So let me know how to do this. Let me know if you could do make these derived configurations, and I'll anxiously wait for your response.